Welcome to the first unit of our course on error handling. If you've been using Make, you might have faced a few errors along the way. Understanding these errors and knowing how to deal with them is crucial for ensuring your automated tasks run smoothly. In this course, we'll explore some of the most frequent errors you might encounter and discuss strategies to manage them effectively. Our goal is to equip you with the knowledge to ensure your scenarios continue to operate seamlessly, even in the face of challenges. We'll begin by identifying common errors and examining how Make handles them by default. You'll also learn techniques for saving failed scenario executions to address them manually, giving you greater control over your automation processes. Let's dive in and get started. Let's delve into the concept of errors in Make. Errors are essentially unexpected issues that can interrupt the smooth execution of your automation scenarios. Imagine setting up a sequence of tasks that should happen automatically, but something goes awry. These are the errors we're focusing on. Errors can arise from various factors. For instance, account errors might occur if there's a problem with your login credentials or permissions. Mapping errors could pop up if there's an issue with data transformation between steps. Rate limit errors happen when requests exceed a service allowed frequency, and external errors might result from interruptions in service from external APIs or network issues. Understanding these error types is crucial for ensuring your automation runs seamlessly. As we progress, we'll dive deeper into each error type and explore effective ways to handle them. This knowledge will empower you to troubleshoot efficiently and keep your automations on track. In the world of automation with Make, understanding why errors occur is crucial. Errors can arise from a variety of factors. Often they stem from a service becoming unavailable due to a failure or when it returns unexpected data. Additionally, data transfer between modules might fail, commonly due to validation errors. Connectivity issues with external services and APIs are also a frequent culprit, alongside incorrect configuration settings. All these issues can prevent your automation from completing tasks as you intended. By being aware of these potential pitfalls, you can better anticipate and address them, ensuring smoother operations. As you delve deeper into this topic, you'll gain a clearer understanding of the common errors and how to effectively manage them. In Make, encountering errors is a common aspect of managing and automating workflows. These errors can arise for several reasons, such as connectivity issues, incorrect configurations, or unexpected data. When an error occurs, Make provides several tools to help you identify and resolve the problem efficiently. Firstly, error notifications alert you instantly, so you're aware of any issues as soon as they happen. This prompt notification is crucial for maintaining the smooth operation of your workflows. Additionally, error logs keep a detailed record of each error. These logs are invaluable for diagnosing issues by providing insights into what went wrong and when it occurred. Error data is another resource at your disposal. It includes specific information that can help in pinpointing the source of the problem. Keeping track of error counters gives you an overview of the frequency of errors, highlighting patterns that might need attention. Lastly, retry mechanisms are essential in ensuring that temporary issues don't disrupt your entire workflow. By setting up retry protocols, Make can attempt to rerun tasks that initially failed, often resolving the issue without further intervention. To handle errors more effectively, it's advisable to develop custom error handling strategies. This can involve configuring error handlers, which allow you to manage unexpected situations with tailored actions. Remember, the specifics of error handling in Make can vary based on the modules and apps in use. Adopting a proactive approach can significantly enhance your workflow's reliability and efficiency. When working with Make, handling errors effectively is crucial. Make offers specialized modules known as error handling directives. These allow you to define custom actions for when errors occur. For example, you can set up notifications via email or messaging services to alert you immediately. Another option is to create alternative pathways in your scenario, ensuring your workflow continues smoothly despite any issues. This flexibility lets you change the default error handling behavior to fit your specific needs, giving you better control and reliability. You can access these error handling features under the Flow Control section or by right-clicking a module to add an error handler. This approach not only personalizes error management, but also enhances the resilience of your automation processes. Understanding and managing errors in Make is essential for keeping your automation workflows robust and reliable. Errors can occur for various reasons, such as incorrect data inputs, network issues, or unforeseen system changes. Effectively handling these errors allows your scenarios to continue operating smoothly, minimizing downtime and disruptions. By employing the right error handling techniques, you can create workflows that are not just resilient, but also adaptive to unexpected challenges. This means that when an error happens, your system knows how to react, whether it's retrying an action, taking an alternate path, or alerting you to the issue. Ultimately, mastering error management in Make ensures that your automation processes remain efficient and effective, helping your business or project maintain its momentum even when problems arise. Let's explore how to implement these strategies effectively. When working with Make, error handling is vital to keep your scenarios running smoothly. Normally, an error will stop a scenario immediately, but Make provides flexibility in handling this. You can configure your scenarios to either bypass less critical errors or continue running in the event of an issue. One key setting is the number of consecutive errors allowed before a scenario is deactivated. By default, this is set to 3, allowing minor issues to occur without disrupting the entire workflow. However, some scenarios might require a different sensitivity to errors. For instance, if you're dealing with crucial business processes, you might want this threshold lower. Conversely, for less critical tasks, you could increase it to maintain operations despite occasional hiccups. You'll find these settings under the advanced options in your scenario controls, where you can tailor the error threshold based on your specific needs. Additionally, it's important to note that there are certain exceptions to these settings, which you might encounter depending on your scenario's complexity. Understanding and configuring these settings empowers you to create more resilient workflows that can adapt to changing conditions without unnecessary interruptions. Now, let's explore the various types of errors you might encounter. When working with external services in Make, you might encounter specific account errors that could disrupt your scenarios. One such error is the account validation error. This error can surface when a previously successful connection suddenly fails as you initiate a scenario. An example of why this might happen is if you've recently updated your password for the external application. Think of it as having locked your keys in the car. Make loses access and can't reach the app until the connection is reestablished. To fix this, you'll need to manually reauthorize the connection. Fortunately, encountering this error doesn't consume any operations, meaning your usage quota remains unaffected. While you might spot this error occasionally with scheduled scenarios, it's typically not a frequent occurrence. Taking a moment to ensure your connections are current will help maintain seamless workflow executions. When you encounter error code 401, it's signaling an authentication issue. In simpler terms, the application you're trying to connect to doesn't recognize you. This often happens due to a typo in your username or password, or perhaps an incorrect connection parameter. Picture it like trying to unlock a door with the wrong key. This error typically appears when you're first setting up a connection, and you usually won't see it after your scenario is running. If you do come across any issues while establishing a connection, it's always a good idea to consult the app's documentation available on our help pages. This resource can guide you through troubleshooting steps specific to the app you're using. Remember, ensuring your credentials are correct and double checking your inputs can save time, and prevent these hiccups? Welcome to our discussion on account errors. Today we're tackling a common issue you might encounter: error code 403, an authorization error. This occurs when the application recognizes who you are, but doesn't grant you the permissions needed to complete a specific action. Imagine having read-only access to a document and attempting to make edits. Error 403 is similar. It often arises when your account lacks certain privileges, such as creating records instead of just retrieving information. This can be especially frustrating in shared environments like Google Shared Drives, where administrative rights might be necessary. You might run into this error when setting up a new connection or during scheduled executions. If you encounter it, our help pages are a great resource for understanding what access levels are required. Remember, understanding these permissions can save time and prevent unnecessary headaches. Let's talk about mapping errors. These occur when the values linked to your modules are incorrect or missing. In Make, you might encounter errors like bundle validation error, data error, or a simple error code 400. Each of these gives you clues to identify the problem. When you run into these issues, it's a good idea to double-check your scenario mappings. Filters can be a proactive solution to help sidestep these issues before they arise. If these errors pop up only occasionally, you might consider setting up an error handler to manage exceptions smoothly. Understanding these can save you time and effort in troubleshooting and make your process much more efficient. When dealing with mapping errors, one common issue is missing values. Imagine you're trying to find an order ID, but the system returns nothing. This often happens when the data you expect to use, like from a prior module, doesn't exist or hasn't been correctly transferred. When you try to access this non-existent data, an error occurs because it requires a specific value that's missing. To resolve this, it's important to ensure before querying that the values are present and correctly mapped. Double-check your data sources and employ conditional checks or default values to prevent these errors. By doing so, you help maintain smooth data operations and avoid interruptions caused by missing parameters. Let's talk about mapping errors, specifically when invalid values cause issues. Imagine trying to use your credit card to open a hotel room door. Not the right tool, right? Similarly, when a system expects a specific user ID but instead gets an email, it doesn't know how to process it, leading to an error. Even though you might have matched the correct data type, the value itself might still be incorrect. For example, if you're supposed to enter an email but mistakenly input a name, the outcome is an error because the system can validate the information properly. These small mix-ups can disrupt the entire workflow, so it's crucial to ensure value accuracy while mapping. By being mindful of these details, you can prevent interruptions and keep your processes running smoothly. When you're working with integrations like Make, encountering mapping errors can sometimes be confusing, especially when they come with an error code 400. Unlike other errors that Make itself detects, a 400 error indicates an issue from the external service you're interacting with. Think of it like trying to find a page in a book that doesn't exist. Everything might seem right on the surface. Your inputs are in the correct format, they aren't blank, but there's a mismatch somewhere. For instance, you may attempt to search for specific data in a Google Sheet named blah blah, but if that sheet doesn't exist, the service can't process your request. This type of error suggests that while your values meet all requirements for type and completeness, they aren't truly applicable to what is being asked. Understanding this helps you refine your inputs more precisely, ensuring they are valid both in format and context. Remember, paying attention to these details will enhance the accuracy and reliability of your integrations. Have you ever had to ask someone to slow down because they were speaking too quickly? That's similar to a rate limit error in apps. It essentially means you're making requests too fast for the system to handle. This often happens when you're using multiple modules or scenarios simultaneously with the same app. If you encounter this issue, you might need to purchase more credits from the app provider or find more information online about rate limits for that specific app. Rate limit errors are usually indicated by the code 429, suggesting you've exceeded your allotted usage rate or quota. To manage these errors, you can enable incomplete executions, which helps in gracefully handling the process when limits are reached. Additionally, using the sleep function can delay your requests or schedule them for a later time. This approach reduces the risk of hitting rate limits, ensuring smoother operation and fewer interruptions. External errors are all about challenges from outside your system. These errors come with codes ranging from 500 to 599. The most common one you might encounter is 503, known as service unavailable. Think of it like going to a restaurant only to find a sign saying they're closed for maintenance. It's a temporary inconvenience, like arriving when a restaurant is fully booked and needing to come back later. These errors signify an issue with the external service provider, which means there isn't much to do on your end except wait and try again. Patience is key here, as these scenarios are usually resolved quickly by the service provider. We'll explore how you can manage such situations more effectively in the course. Let's explore how to manage errors effectively by turning them into warnings. By enabling incomplete executions, you can enhance the reliability of your scenarios. This is easily done through the scenario editor. Simply navigate to Controls, then Scenario Settings, and select the option to allow storing of incomplete executions. What does this mean for your workflow? Many errors you encounter may be downgraded to warnings. This ensures that your scenario continues to run smoothly without interruptions. Essentially, it creates snapshots of your execution. These snapshots capture data that isn't fully processed, allowing you to handle them at a later time. This approach not only keeps your operation steady, but also provides flexibility in managing unexpected issues. Let's explore how Make handles errors and warnings. When you enable incomplete executions, certain errors like connection errors and rate limit errors are automatically retried, reducing the need for manual intervention. However, other errors require your attention, either to be resolved or deleted. Imagine if your scenario has multiple paths or bundles. Even if one encounters an error, the process doesn't halt entirely. Instead, it continues bypassing only the troubled bundle. This ensures minimal disruption, as just one error pauses the entire execution, whereas multiple warnings can coexist without stopping the process. To efficiently handle these scenarios, you can adjust module mappings. This flexibility allows you to correct errors before running the scenario again, starting from the exact point of failure. This targeted approach saves time and resources by avoiding reprocessing of unaffected modules. Understanding the difference between warnings and errors is crucial to effectively managing your scenarios. Warnings are essentially alerts. They tell you when something might not be working perfectly, but they don't stop your scenario from running. Picture it like a rate limit warning that flags when you've hit an API's usage limit. While your current request might need a retry, it doesn't need to halt everything else in your process. These warnings provide a heads up to check the API settings and possibly adjust your usage patterns to avoid hitting these limits frequently. On the other hand, errors are more serious. They demand immediate attention because they can cause an entire scenario to fail. Think of an error as an invalid authentication token. Without action, such an error can prevent your scenario from proceeding at all. Understanding these differences allows you to prioritize your responses and maintain smooth operation of your scenarios. As we conclude our discussion on transforming errors into warnings, it's important to recognize that not every error is adaptable. While some errors can become warnings to allow processes to continue without interruption, others remain outside this possibility. You might find yourself needing to address incomplete executions manually. This means running or deleting those scenarios yourself because automation isn't yet perfect. But don't worry, our next unit will guide you through practical examples to handle these situations more effectively. With the right strategies, you can maintain control and keep your systems running smoothly. Congratulations on completing this unit. You've gained a solid understanding of some important concepts in error management. Let's recap what you've learned. The most common errors in Make, how to distinguish between errors and warnings, and strategies to keep your scenarios running smoothly, even when issues arise. This theoretical foundation sets the stage for more hands-on learning in the next sections. You'll dive deeper into error handling techniques, examining methods like the ignore, rollback, and commit directives. These tools are essential for managing errors effectively in your workflows. As we move forward, get ready to explore these practical approaches and enhance your problem-solving skills. Keep up the great work and let's continue this learning journey together.